If you want to succeed in your career, improve your relationship with others, and live a more fulfilling life, then you must focus on improving your communication skills. Communication is everything we do when we interact with other people. It's how we build relationships, solve problems, and get things done. And yet most of us are never taught how to communicate effectively. We're just expected to figure it out on our own. But the good news is that you can learn to be a better communicator. It just takes some practice and effort. In this video, we will discuss 3 proven tips that will help you become a better communicator. So make sure to watch until the end so you don't miss anything. Tip number 1. Become an active listener. Most of us were taught to listen as children. We were told to use our ears to hear what others had to say and to pay attention when someone was talking to us. However, being an active listener involves much more than simply hearing words and understanding their meaning. It's been estimated that most of us only remember about 25% of what we hear. This is because we tend to listen for comprehension rather than for understanding. When we listen for comprehension, we're simply focused on hearing and understanding the words that are being said. On the other hand, listening for understanding involves paying attention not only to the words that are being said, but also to the nonverbal cues and body language that are being used. This allows us to pick up on the emotions and feelings behind the words and to get a better sense of the message that is being communicated. To become an active listener, we need to be mindful of our tendency to listen for comprehension rather than for understanding. We also need to be aware of the nonverbal cues and body language that are being used by the speaker. By doing so, we can improve our ability to listen actively and to communicate more effectively with others. There are 3 main components to active listening: paying attention, withholding judgment, and reflecting. Paying attention means focusing on what the other person is saying, both verbally and nonverbally. It means making eye contact, nodding your head, and using other nonverbal cues to show that you are engaged in the conversation. Withholding judgment means not jumping to conclusions or making assumptions. It means being open to hearing the other person's point of view, even if you disagree with it. Reflecting involves summarizing what the other person has said to make sure that you understand them correctly. It also involves asking questions to clarify any unclear points. When you follow these 3 steps, you send a clear message to the other person that you are truly listening and that you value their input. This can help to build trust and rapport, which is essential for effective communication. Here are some additional tips to help you become a better listener. Don't interrupt. Allow the other person to finish their thoughts before you respond. Be patient. If the other person is taking a while to express their ideas, give them the time they need. Ask questions. If you're not sure about something, ask for clarification. Show empathy. Try to see things from the other person's perspective. Summarize. Reflect on the other person what you've heard to make sure that you understand them correctly. Remember, active listening is one of the most important skills you can develop if you want to become a better communicator. It takes practice, but the benefits are well worth it. Tip number 2. Improve your verbal and nonverbal communication. There are 2 primary elements to communication: verbal and nonverbal. Verbal communication includes all of the words that we speak and write, while nonverbal communication encompasses all of the behaviors that we exhibit outside of words. Both are important aspects of communication, and together they convey our meaning and intent. However, research suggests that nonverbal communication is more important than verbal communication in conveying our message. Studies have found that only about 7% of our communication is based on the words that we speak. The remaining 93% is conveyed through our nonverbal cues, such as facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice. This means that if we want to improve our communication skills, we need to focus on both our verbal and nonverbal communication. To improve your verbal communication, you should focus on clarity, conciseness, and correctness. Clarity refers to the ability to express yourself in a way that is easy to understand. This means avoiding jargon and technical terms, unless you're sure that your audience is familiar with them. It also means using specific and concrete language, instead of relying on vague or abstract terms. Conciseness refers to the ability to express what you want to say in as few words as possible. This doesn't mean that you should be brief to the point of being rude, but it does mean that you should avoid unnecessary words and phrases. Correctness refers to the accuracy of your grammar, spelling, and punctuation. While it's not essential to use perfect grammar all the time, it is important to avoid errors that could confuse you. You can improve your verbal communication skills by practicing with friends or family members, recording yourself while speaking, or taking a class or workshop on public speaking or communication skills. To improve your nonverbal communication, you should focus on your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. Body language refers to the nonverbal cues that you send with your body, such as your posture, gestures, and eye contact. To convey confidence, stand tall with your shoulders back and your chin up. Use open and inviting gestures, such as keeping your arms uncrossed and your palms up. Make eye contact with others to show that you're engaged in the conversation. Maintain appropriate personal space when you're communicating with others. Facial expressions refer to the emotions that you convey with your face, such as a smile, frown, or raised eyebrows. Be aware of the emotions that you're conveying and the impact that they're having on others. Practice making positive and approachable facial expressions. The tone of voice refers to the pitch, volume, and intonation of your voice. It can convey emotions and attitudes that can either enhance or detract from your verbal message. For example, if you say something nice with a mean tone of voice, it will come across as sarcastic and unkind. Pay attention to the emotions that you're feeling and try to match your tone of voice accordingly. Improving your nonverbal communication skills takes a little more effort than improving your verbal communication skills, but the results will be worth it. By focusing on your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice, you can convey confidence, warmth, and openness, which will help you build stronger relationships with the people around you. Tip number 3. Learn how to handle conflict. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship. Disagreements happen, and how we handle those disagreements can make or break a relationship. Research shows that the best way to handle conflict is to use a collaborative style. This means working together with the other person to find a solution that meets both of your needs. It may take longer than simply telling someone what you want, but it leads to better outcomes and stronger relationships. Here are 5 steps you can take to become better at handling conflict. Step 1. Stay calm. When you feel angry or upset, it's important to take a step back and calm down before addressing the conflict. Take a few deep breaths and remind yourself that it's okay to disagree with someone without being disagreeable. Step 2. Use a calm and respectful tone of voice. Even if the other person is being disrespectful, it's important to stay calm and respectful in your communication. This will help de-escalate the situation and make it more likely that you'll be able to reach a compromise. Step 3. Clearly state your perspective and actively listen to the other person's perspective. It's important to be clear and concise when stating your perspective. Use I statements to explain how you feel and what you need. After you've stated your perspective, actively listen to the other person's perspective. This means not interrupting, not getting defensive, and trying to understand their point of view. Step 4. Find common ground. Once you've heard the other person's perspective, try to find areas where you agree. This may be hard to do in some conflicts, but it's important to try. Finding common ground will help you build rapport and trust with the other person. This will also help you to see the situation from their point of view. Step 5. Work together to find a solution that meets both of your needs. Once you've found common ground, work together with the other person to come up with a solution that meets both of your needs. This may take some time and effort, but the results will be worth it. A successful resolution leaves both parties feeling satisfied. Learning how to handle conflict is essential for effective communication. By following these 5 steps, you'll be able to resolve conflicts in a way that strengthens your relationships and helps you achieve your goals. By following these 3 tips, you will be well on your way to becoming a better communicator. Remember that it takes practice to become a good communicator, but the rewards are worth it. Improved communication skills will help you to build better relationships, solve problems more effectively, and achieve your goals. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope that you've learned something new. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching.